Hello and welcome to a new episode of GenZapp, today from Riga. I'm standing in front of the parliament. The most non-citizens in the world are living here in Latvia. Non-citizens are people who are not citizens of Latvia or any other country. They are stateless. They have no right to vote. We came here to find out if and how they are discriminated. We met one young non-citizen, visited an organization that fights for their rights, and met a politician from the National Alliance, a right-wing party from the government. From all sides, the things got pretty emotional.
I would say that some of my Latvian friends are often surprised when they find out that I'm not a citizen, because it doesn't occur to them that you can be born in this country and not be a citizen of Latvia. When I travel and go abroad, I always say I'm a Russian from Riga.
Dmitrijs is one of about 200,000 non-citizens of Latvia, because his ancestors immigrated from Soviet Union between 1940 and 1991. Although he was born here, he is neither allowed to vote nor to work in many jobs. The law claims 80 differences between non and full citizens. Latvia offers the test for non-citizens. If they pass, they can call themselves naturalized and gain full rights. Dmitrijs feels discriminated by this test.
I think that our society right now is even more divided than in the last years of the Soviet Union. Personally, I can pass the test and become a citizen of Latvia, but there are thousands of people that cannot. For example, my parents, that are already 60 years old, and they will never pass that test. That's the main reason why I won't do it. So even if me and others pass this test, it would hardly change the conditions of the Latvian society. I think that Russian speakers are excluded from the political process here. The idea of getting a Russian citizenship seems appealing to me. I have traveled to Russia many times, and I think that Russia is also an appealing place to live for a longer time.
Kols is a member of the right-wing National Alliance party, which is part of the current government of Latvia. He claims that no one tries to hold the non-citizens down.
We have set everything in a position for them to become a Latvian citizen. They have the naturalization process, which is open, which is not harsh, and within a month, if you apply, you can get a citizenship. I just can't understand why they're not doing that. You know, the House still choosing. If they're so much attached to Russia is just nearby. Go. Why? See why? If you can't accept the values, the tradition, the culture of Latvia, why are you still staying here?
The mistrust between Latvians and the Russians' influence goes back to the times of the Soviet Union. Latvia, as many other countries in Eastern Europe and the Baltic regions, was occupied by Russians, or not? Were the Soviet immigrants politically motivated, or only families looking for work with no choice? Questions of guilt and former politics seems to split the Latvian society still like a fresh scar.
I would like to change the situation here, so that the Russians and Russian speakers that are living here currently wouldn't feel as foreigners any longer.
Elizabeta Grishkova, a human rights activist, criticizes a lack of communication between politics and non-citizens.
The non-citizens have no voice. They are not heard, even though they are speaking loudly. Now it's time for a new social contract. Not only the government has to make efforts, but also we have. If we say yes to the naturalization test and the government assures to grant the minority rights, we can live together.
Many non-citizens expected some sort of progress when Latvia joined the EU in 2004.
Me and many others feel disappointed when I think about the European Union and what they did for non-citizens. Personally, I never expected that the EU will seriously involve in our human rights issues in Latvia, but a lot of people used to hope for it. I wouldn't like my children to be non-citizens, but citizens of which country they will be, this is a question.
Before we arrived in Riga, the conflict seemed very obvious to us. On the one side, the discriminated non-citizens, on the other side, the government, who doesn't want to grant all rights to them. But it is more complicated. It is a historical scarf that never disappears, not even among the young Latvians and non-citizens. Nevertheless, it is still disturbing that in 2014, people of a EU member state are not allowed to vote.
It's Team Enemies. We're in the Kosovo right now. We're in the northern part of the Kosovo, in Mitrovica to be more precise. And today we're going to go on a patrol with the German military that is based here in the area. They will show us around, drive with us through the city from both parts, from the Serbian part to the Albanian part, and hopefully will tell us about the conflict here in the area, about the young generation and about how they perceive the conflict between the two ethnicities.
Thank you, Jan and Christoph, for your update. This is Team Berlin calling. We are the headquarter of Generation Separation, and we want to make sure that you will visit us tomorrow again. Then we will have an inside report from Team Populism. They went to a protest in Toulouse, and I can tell you it was a really heated situation.